Yo, it's your boy. All right, Ryan, let me open a show for once, and I think this is the last time after that introduction. Matt Ryan show. We're back. Talked NBA Finals last night. It's been a while, but we've been so busy. Summer is a busy time for both of us.
Well, you want to be outside. I don't want to be cooped up in the studio when it's 90 degrees outside and I could be playing some golf. But yeah, we've been busy. Been traveling a lot. Anywhere but home. Felt good to be back, and we've got a lot of stuff to catch up on, so.
Yeah, haven't had the opportunity to talk about free agency, some big time trades. Something that I know I've been looking forward to talking about is the Kevin Durant trade because you know how much I love Kevin Durant. Um, NBA Summer League. I got to be honest with you. I know we're supposed to be basketball knowledge wizards, but I really haven't watched a lick of NBA Summer League. Now, there's a good reason, is because if you have been listening, you know I'm a huge baseball guy. So baseball regular season comes before NBA Summer League for me. But I've been seeing the highlights. The thing that I saw the most was Bronny James clamping up the number one overall pick, Cooper Flag, which I don't take any stock into Summer League. And the stats were bad that game. Bronny went like 4 for 14 in that game, and then Cooper Flag was like 5 for 20.
Yeah.
So I don't really take any stock in the Summer League games.
Yeah, it's Summer League is fun. Everybody thinks back to like Lonzo had like a 30-point triple double in his Summer League final, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that
I
in
think it
Las
was.
Vegas.
That was. I've never seen, I guess, basketball discourse take a summer league so seriously when because the Lakers won the championship that year, and it was kind of a big deal. I saw a ton of posts from like that was the first time I ever was like kind of interested in or like there was a thought of maybe actually watching the championship game because Lonzo
Right.
was playing so well.
And one, I'm a huge Lonzo fan. I watch all Summer League, most Summer League, so I've seen a lot this year. But the discourse around that, you're right. Part of it is because it is the Lakers. The Lakers, it's the Dodgers, the Lakers, the Cowboys. They're all going to be that team to where it doesn't matter who's playing, as long as that team is in the arena, that somebody's going to show up. Which is why that's the only Summer League championship you probably know. Like you probably have no idea who won the year after, before, or last year for that matter. So um, it's kind of the part that plays it. I mean, even when D'Angelo Russell was on the Lakers, he hit a game winner for the Lakers in Summer League, so it's fun. The Bronny situation is weird. You kind of just want to see him grow in this spot, and I do like the approach that he's taken, which is he knows what he needs to be an NBA player, which is a dog defensively that can hit a three. Now the problem is he's struggled from behind the line. He had actually a pretty good game last night, I do believe. But the number one pick, Cooper Flag, and him kind of went at it, and of course everybody sees the clips of Cooper trying to back Bronny down, and people forget he does have LeBron James genes in him, so he is going to be strong.
He's a stout. He's a stout kid. He's
And
still
he's starting to
strong.
sound like him. I don't know if you've heard any interviews with him, but he's starting to sound like his dad. If you just close your eyes and listen, it's like,
Does he read like his dad?
I don't know. We need to ask him that. See if he picks up a
Because
book every
there's
once in a
the
while.
conspiracy theories out there that LeBron actually hasn't read any of those books that he has with him during an interview or on the podium.
That is
Because
correct.
there is a lot of pictures of him reading those books, and it looks like he's on either page 1 through 10 of every single one.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is, I'm pretty sure when he was in Miami, a reporter asked him about one of the books that he was reading, and he kind of gave a fluff answer of like, yeah, it's a great book, but he didn't really go into detail about anything. So everybody's like, do you actually read that book, or is it just for show? And
Yeah,
nobody knows
that's
that
not a good
better
look.
than LeBron James Jr. I'm sure he'll know
Yeah.
exactly what that answer is. But
But
no, it's been a good summer league so far for.
one of the best games was Cooper Flag and Dylan Harper went at it when
Yep.
Dallas and San Antonio played each other. They really did look like a number one and number two pick. And Dylan Harper he's I know he's the number 2 overall pick, so you're going to get a lot of hype, but he looks really good. And everybody now, they were high on the Spurs last year. And I have to imagine this year, a lot of people think they're going to be that new and upcoming team, kind of like what the Rockets were this past year.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because obviously I had the Rockets last year as being that up and coming team because 2 years ago they didn't make the playoffs and this year they're 2 seed. So not that I see that exact formula for the Spurs, but they've got everything that they need as far as mixing young talent with a veteran. You had Stephon Castle under CP3 last year, and now you've got De'Aaron Fox. Who is a veteran now, which is kind of crazy to say. He's coming into his 10th year in the league, I believe, and I don't, maybe ninth. But either way, it's a entirely different team as far as they didn't give up their young core to go get Giannis or still haven't yet. And Wemby kind of spoke on that the other day and was kind of like, rarely ever does it work out when you give up your entire young core to go after one player. And he's not wrong. The only obvious one that comes to mind is Toronto when they went after Kawhi for 1 year. They won the championship, but they lost Kawhi after that. So, um, I think they're in a good spot. With De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dalen Harper, you got a 3 combo guard that you can rotate in and out. No matter what, at least at minimum, one of those is going to be on the floor, if not 2 at all times. So, they've got 3 guys that can
Yeah,
handle the ball plus Wemby.
we honestly, we might. I feel like tickets would be kind of cheap. I don't know, because seeing Wemby probably costs, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
it probably costs a little bit to go see the Spurs now. But I was thinking because the closest NBA arena to us is the Pacers. And Chris Paul announced that this is his last year. I've
Right.
never seen Chris Paul play live. That might be a sneaky one if there's nothing to do one weekend. Just go up to Indiana, see his
Well,
first Pacers game, see Chris
is
Paul
is Chris Paul still
one
even
last
on the
time.
Spurs, or is he in free agency? Because I thought he signed a 1 year deal with
I
the Spurs last year, so I'm not sure if he's even.
I guess I'm just assuming.
I think he's in free agency. I don't think he's. I think he said it could be his last year if teams are still interested in him playing basketball. I guess. Because I don't think he's
Why
signed
wouldn't
with
they
a
though?
team. You know, it's part of this new wave of like, unless you're Pat Riley, like nobody really carries veterans like that anymore. And Chris Paul can still play. Let's not act like Chris Paul is Udonis Haslam, but I'm just saying like the old 40-year-old veterans that are kind of like Udonis Haslam, where you take a roster spot up, but you're not going to get any minutes throughout the season. You're just there for the young guys. You don't really
See
see that
that
on teams anymore.
yeah, well that doesn't make any sense with Chris Paul because even in a backup role,
Oh
he
yeah,
almost averaged a double double,
yeah.
7.4 assists per game, and then he's almost a 38% shooter from behind the 3 point line. So I don't know, like who would not want that? I know he's 39 years old, but I'm just saying if you took away if if you did not know Chris Paul's age and you saw those numbers, he would already be on a team.
Even as a backup, yeah. Well, the problem is, or not the problem, but the interesting fact is that he's won pretty much everywhere he's gone since LA. Like he hasn't won the championship, obviously, but every team has gotten better since he's been on it. OKC made a huge jump when he first got there, and he taught Shea pretty much everything Shea knows as far as getting his defenders where he needs them to attack. But I mean, the Suns, the Clippers, um, even the Spurs got a little bit better when he got there. Obviously, that's a whole different situation with being the 38-year-old on a team that has a rookie or second year player, whatever he was. But any team that picks him up, the young guys flourish after he leaves. So it's like he clearly is doing something right with the young crew to kind of show them the way as far as the point guard room goes. So I mean, if you've got a guy that's got potential, aka Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, that's a guy that I would want in my backcourt. Now, maybe there's not enough room in that specific backcourt for a guy like Chris Paul, but uh, yeah, it's very interesting to see where he'll end up.
I feel
I
like
know,
Minnesota would be an interesting place, but they already have Mike Conley, so I don't
yeah,
know.
Well, he's
I don't know
also
if you want to.
he's in that role of like his. I think his family lives in L.A., so it's like, does he even want to play in a spot that's not where his home is? Is he ready just to be home and not be
Well, maybe
on the
LeBron
road?
recruits him.
That's if LeBron is staying in L.A. Rumor has it.
That's
There's
rumor
a
has it he's a Golden State Warrior, according to our inside reporter.
yeah. Per sources,
Yeah, you got didn't you got to talking with his representatives this week? What are they saying?
yeah, Rich actually called me and said that they're working on a deal with LeBron going to Golden State
It's a
for
16 team trade, right?
actually it's 24. Half the team, half the pretty much everybody in the league is going to have at least some portion of this. A lot of them are just somebody throwing a second just for fun, just to be a part of it. But the main cream of the crop is going to be Kuminga, Pajimski for LeBron and maybe a first. Who knows?
Yeah.
Uh,
I heard
no, in all
Jimmer
serious,
Fredette is going to Chicago
in
in
all
the move.
seriousness, I don't know if he's still playing in the league. Um,
Nah,
in all
he's
seriousness,
retired.
there are rumors that he is potentially leaving. Nothing has come out of his camp. Nothing has come out of the Lakers camp. It's all just speculation at this point. So, obviously we don't take it to be true, but it could be 2 weeks before we get back on here. And by then he could be on a different team. The only team that I could see that happening is the Warriors. And no, it's not just because I'm a Warriors fan. It is because they have the window that he's got, which is, Steph, Jimmy Butler, they're all on the plus side of 30. And LeBron's, 40. They're all on that. This is like the last year or two for the last hurrah before it's probably going to be a dismantle of that team and that franchise for future generations. So they've got one more shot. They got to go all in. So you got to give up everything and just hope that you can get them.
Yeah. Honestly, selfishly, I would love if he left. Um,
Yeah.
I say that selfishly because all due respect, I'm just not a Lakers fan, never have. So, and LeBron is maybe my second favorite player ever. So having to watch him on the Lakers is, especially when they won that finals, is pretty tough. I have for the past 2 years wanted him to go back again to Cleveland because imagining him, and I feel like Cleveland has some pieces where they could get the deal done, but it would just. But maybe that's a little too much. He already went back there the first time. Doing it twice might be a little too dramatic. So, but I would love him on the Warriors because he loves Steph. He's always talked about playing with them. He had so much fun playing with him on the Olympics and when they were in France this past summer. So it would be a lot of fun if he was in Golden State.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like that Olympic team, I've always been, it's been Steph versus LeBron for however many years that was in a row. It felt like 10, but it was closer to like 7. Um, and yet it was it was weird because it was the first time I was rooting for LeBron and Steph was on the same team. It was just so weird dynamic, but I absolutely loved it. And part of that is just because it was USA and you root for your country, but um, it was fun to watch them play together and kind of getting a glimpse of that and what that could look like. I've said it a few times, but LeBron and Steph, I feel like are both past the part of their career where they can carry a team to a championship, but they're both still good enough to where they can carry in spurts. Like
Oh, definitely.
LeBron can carry for 30 games of a season, a team on his back. He just can't do it for 82 plus the playoffs, which is somewhere between 18 to 20 games, whatever it is. So you're talking about 100 games of like just absolutely putting someone on your shoulders or a team on your shoulders. Steph did it in 2021. It's kind of been, everybody kind of felt like that was the last time he could do that. So if you get those two together plus Jimmy Butler, you've got 3 guys that in spurts can put a team on their back and kind of go, and you can just kind of hopefully introduce that in the game and not just
Yeah.
within months. But it would be an interesting dynamic. Obviously, it's all speculation. It's all wishful thinking,
Yeah,
but
it's kind of a with LeBron, it's believe it when you see it. It's not the situation like Kevin Durant where kind of everybody knew
yeah.
he was going to get dealt. It was just a matter of time. I do want
Speaking
to
of
move
which,
on to that Kevin Durant trade because we opened it up. We said we were going to talk about it. So it's actually a 17 trade, pretty close to what you're hearing with the 16 team with LeBron.
yeah,
Um, and looking over some of these names, and all respect, but it feels like some of these guys, they're just created players to
yeah.
make this trade work. It was mainly between Phoenix and Houston.
Name
Phoenix.
them. I want to see if I can name the colleges of these players that you call
Okay,
are
okay.
creative
Well,
players.
let's start with the teams that I didn't even know. So the Minnesota Timberwolves was a part of this. They got two
Oh,
second
sure.
round picks, cash, and I'm gonna try my best to pronounce this.
This should be good.
Rocco Zakarski.
I'm gonna assume he didn't go to college in the U.S. But we can look that up. Our stats guy will look that up and see.
Okay.
Yeah, you said Zakarski,
Rocco Zakarski.
of course. Shout out Rocco.
All right. The Lakers got Adu Thero. Tiro.
Thiero. That's he's a former Kentucky player. Played at Arkansas under Cal.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's Adu Thiero.
Um,
Yeah, he's actually a very good player. A great second round pick. I think he's gonna be one of the steals of the draft. So,
okay, okay. So Lakers might have gotten a nice little piece in a trade that they're not really involved.
but
Atlanta Hawks.
I think that pick went to somebody else because that was the way that the picks worked in the draft. Were like that's the Lakers were picking for somebody. I'm not sure who he's going to, but um, just know that that's not him. And Arkansas was the college. A quick update on Rocco. He's from Australia, so I
Okay.
figured he wasn't from the States. But please continue.
I'm kind of surprised by that. I was thinking Zakarski, like Serbia or something. Um, but Australia is very interesting.
7'3" Australian basketball prospect.
Look out for Rocco.
Yeah.
Those Timberwolves Spurs games are going to be awesome. Rocco and Wemby. That's the matchup next year. Hawks got a second round pick swap and David Roddy.
David
Roddy.
Roddy. Yeah, dude, he's
David
from
Roddy.
Colorado State, I believe. He's
It's
like
always good to
a
have. That's why you're much needed because I was calling these guys created players, and they're studs from what it sounds like. I
well,
get
David Roddy he was another second round pick, but he was a stud at I want to say it's Colorado State. Maybe let me see if I'm messing that up.
your Warriors are part of this too.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, it is Colorado State. He was nasty there. He's just one of those guys that kind of reminds you of like Ron Harper. He's just a wing that can score, but he's kind of built.
Very
He's
nice.
better than Ron Harper though. David Roddy actually
Alex
played for the Minnesota or the Memphis Grizzlies for a few years. Fun fact.
Vancouver.
Yeah,
Alex Tui to Golden
um,
State
yeah, he's a second
and
round pick this
Jemai
year.
Meshack.
We know Meshack. I don't know where he
So
went to
yeah, we
college
know
though.
Meshack. We do know the name though. And then
But
Brooklyn got
Tennessee,
two
I
second
think.
round picks. So
Jemai
that
Meshack is Tennessee, by the way. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot of nobodies in the trade that really comes down to Kevin Durant got
Just to make
traded
everything work.
for Jalen Green, pretty much is what the trade is.
Yeah, so Phoenix, they get Jalen Green. Dylan Brooks is in the trade. Those are the two most notable. Come on, uh,
Malawach,
Malawach, Duke,
10th overall pick. Yep,
Rasheer Fleming, Kobe
very good
Brea.
player. Who I don't know if you've watched any Suns summer league games.
I've been seeing. Yeah,
Now, I'm not saying he's going to be, what everybody else says he's going to be. He is a solid NBA player, though. Like, if you can shoot in this league, you're going to make plenty of money. Look at
I
Duncan
mean,
Robinson.
those games down the stretch, just some of those Kentucky games last year, he was automatic, and
And
he
you
was
never know.
the
Like, shooting can translate, catch and shoot can translate, but can you create your own shot? Can you, run off screens and kind of be a JJ Redick version of a catch and shoot player? He has shown he's not quite the nimble JJ Redick come off screen and fade shoot, but he can kind of create his own shot a little bit, and he's tall enough to where he's 6'6" and his shot is all the way up above his head, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to defend that. He looked really good right now, and it's a Kentucky
Yeah,
guard.
I've been seeing the post about him. Daquan Plowden, and then a second round pick went to Phoenix, and then Houston, they get the money prize, Katie and Clint Capella. So what I want to say is this doesn't move the needle for Meg. I I don't I see the Rockets as a little bit better getting past the first round, but I don't put them in the tier of OKC. I don't even put them in the tier of Denver.
I don't
Especially
put them in the
with
tier
Denver's
of. I don't know that I'd put them in the tier of Minnesota.
really.
I
That one
don't think.
I have to think about a little bit.
I don't think. I love Kevin
I
Durant.
think that would be a good
I think
series.
Kevin Durant can fit in any system that is created. He can play basketball in any offense that's ever been created. He is no longer a number one guy. He
But
he hasn't
no,
been since he left OKC. You can't convince me otherwise. I think Anthony Edwards is. So it theoretically in my mind that takes that team over this team because they have a guy. Now, is Houston a better overall squad than Minnesota? Absolutely. They've got, Amin Thompson, Fred VanVleet, Sangoon. They've got a core that they can really work with. Um, but if you're talking about, who do I trust? And not that Anthony Edwards has shown me anything late in a game because I'm pretty sure his late game numbers are awful, like absolutely atrocious. But he's not scared to shoot them, and he doesn't care. I just don't think I don't. You're right. The Rockets, the needle did not move for me when they made this trade. We talked about it 2 weeks ago before he got traded, and this was my gripe about it. Then was if he gets traded to Houston, it doesn't put them in that championship contending team for me. They are just
yeah,
a step below that.
I think they're a second round exit at
Yeah.
best. That's they get like a 4 or 5 seed in the West. They play the Clippers or the Lakers or the Mavericks, and they still have a very talented squad. Katie goes off. But if they go up against, yeah, a Thunder or a Denver Nuggets in that semifinals, and I know a lot of people hate Dylan Brooks, and to an extent, rightfully so, because he's an agitator. He gets under people's skin, and offensively, it's just not consistent. So if Dylan Brooks is on your team and you're trying to get something going offensively, Dylan Brooks he'll chuck up 20 shots, miss about 18 of them, but he doesn't lose confidence and he'll still throw it up. He did the same thing with Memphis. But one thing you cannot deny is he is a great defender. So Houston is losing that, but they still think they have great defensive pieces in Thompson and pieces offensively in Fred VanVleet where you can lose a good defender and somebody who's still progressing in Jalen Green. He's still young. I know he had a terrible playoff series, and I'm not a huge believer in Jalen Green as far as him being a face of the franchise kind of guy. Like uh like if he's going to become like an Anthony Edwards or a Devin Booker or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see in Phoenix, and he'll definitely get a great opportunity because Phoenix. It's not like they have many other scorers besides Devin Booker on that team. So, but yeah, Houston, second round at best. What's their starting five right now? You got Van
It'd
Vliet
be
at the point
Van
guard.
Fleet, Amin Thompson, Kevin Durant, Sangoon, and you could either put Jabari Smith is probably what I would put there. They paid him a lot of
Well,
money, so
they did get Clint Capella in the trade,
I think he's a backup.
backup center.
Yeah, I don't think you start him as you can't
Honestly,
start him as
that
Sangoon.
team scares me defensively as guarding bigs.
Jabari Smith's a good defender. I don't know if Sangoon, like you talking about,
Y- Yeah,
like a
but you think
Jokic
about
big.
like yeah, well, you think about the bigs in the West. Like if they have to go up against the Thunder, Chet and Hartenstein, that combo. Like imagining Sagoon and Jabari Smith having to deal with that. Hartenstein, it was unbelievable to watch him and his progression with that Thunder team and that floater that he has just inside the free throw line. It's automatic. And then Chet, I love Chet. Chet is he's he's a great player. Everybody dogs on him. I love Chet. He's a champion. He's a number three. He was a number three on that team.
Nothing wrong with that.
And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But he's still a problem. He's still a problem down low and good defensively. So that scares me a
Great
little bit.
defensively. That's what kept
Yeah.
him on the floor was him being good defensively. He,
Yes.
the
Yes.
fact that he
I
can
will say
alter,
some of those playoff games he would disappear
yeah,
offensively.
which he's
And
young. This is first kind of go around because he got
oh
injured his
yeah,
first year for the full year, and then he was pretty much injured a lot of this year. So he hasn't played much NBA basketball when you really think about it. But um, he defensively is the reason he was out there, and he altered slash blocked a lot of shots in that series that really kind of determined how Indiana was forced to play. So
yeah. But NBA is going to look a lot different next year. We got the KD trade. Damian Lillard is another huge headline. Was released by Milwaukee, and that is a big move for two reasons. One, obviously, because it's Damian Lillard, and he is future Hall of Famer. I would say
yeah,
probably
he was already
future
top 75
Hall
list. So
future Hall of Famer, Rookie of the Year. He's 10-time All Star, pretty close to it. 9-time All Star. But the biggest reason is because he was making so much money for you to be willing to just say, "Hey, here's all your money. We're going to give it to you right now." That's a desperation move, and maybe a very humbling experience that Lillard's going through right now. And it kind of feels like the end.
I wish I could get a
Well,
humbling experience of
well,
$160
yeah.
million
Well,
dollars or whatever
listen,
the hell.
he's totally fine.
I just
He's
feel
fine.
like, as far as the Milwaukee Bucks, that was a desperation move to keep Giannis. I think they saw the writing on the wall. Dame Lillard's going to be out all year. Giannis doesn't want to go through another situation of being either first round exits or not making the playoffs. And this was their way of freeing up some cap space for this year so they can go out and make a big splash, like signing Miles Turner, which is apparently what their big move was going to be in general. So I,
Well,
that's their last ditch effort. The only reason they can sign Miles Turner is because they paid out Dame all up front and then they made the money. They didn't pay it all up front. They've extended it for a lot longer, so they'll be paying
yeah,
Dame for a long time. But it was the biggest contract buyout in NBA history, I believe. So it
yeah.
was just a wild sight.
This is another move where it just doesn't do anything differently for how I feel about Milwaukee.
It makes me
E-
feel
e-
worse about him, actually.
Even just getting Miles Turner, what is so special about this roster? Honestly, I think I'd rather have a healthy. He's going to be out for the season next year, so it doesn't matter. But I think I'd rather have a healthy Damian Lillard, or would believe in him a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's tough because honestly, the smartest thing to do would be to trade him, right?
Who,
The
Dame?
Giannis
Yes. For the Bucks'
the,
future, yes.
for the
There's no
future.
sense of you hanging on to a lost cause for an extra 4 or 5 years and signing bad contracts just to try to keep them.
Yeah,
Because you're just giving away your future at that point. If you can, this is the time where you're going to get the most bang for your buck for Giannis, and you got to cash in while it was there. If the Spurs don't want him, fine. You missed out on the Rockets. That's okay. There's still 28 other teams that will happily take Giannis. So 27, I guess, not including the Bucks. So you gotta make some calls, and that's if Giannis wants to leave. If he doesn't want to leave, that's fine. But you have to figure out a better way to get talent around him quicker because it's coming. It's coming close. Like he's not there yet. He's still in his prime. But by the time you get that roster ready, he might be 32, 33 years old, and it might be too
yeah.
little too late.
Well, this is gonna make us feel really old. Giannis Antetokounmpo has the most experience in the NBA, more than anybody on the roster.
That's
So we're
crazy.
talking about the oldest player on the team is
He's 30.
Giannis.
He's 29, 28. What is he?
He's oh no, he
He's
is
28, right?
hold up. Oh no. He's going into his age 31 season.
31. Damn. Okay, yeah. Well, my take is way better. He'll be
So
34 by the time this team is ready.
yeah, he's gonna be 31 this year. So
Oh,
still in your prime. I've always
you've got to trade
considered,
him. You have that changed my entire That 3 years.
but you
That's how
have
crazy
to.
3 years
Well, no, they're
will
not.
make.
They're not.
They're not
Getting
what?
Miles Turner, they're not going to trade him.
Oh, I know, but that's how
Yeah, yeah, but you're
idiotic the Bucks
just
are. You have to trade him though. You cannot waste not getting anything and then either letting him walk or wasting the rest of his career in
yeah.
Milwaukee.
Well,
Have to.
that's exactly what's going to happen. It's a really good thing that obviously that he got that championship in 2021 because think of how people would talk about Giannis if they wouldn't have won that year.
Yeah,
And they were going through what they were going through right now, and he didn't have a championship. But you know what? I think it actually would help the momentum of him getting traded a lot better because uh, maybe the franchise wouldn't feel like they have to hold on to him to keep the fans happy. And also maybe Giannis, because it sounds like or looks like Giannis loves Milwaukee and doesn't want to go anywhere. That's just the kind of guy he is. And maybe he would be more okay with being dealt if he hadn't have won that championship and gone through that. Maybe he would look at it differently.
yeah,
So, but I'm sure if you were to ask him if he would rather get traded to a contender right now and not have a championship or have a championship and go through what he's going through, he would take the championship because
absolutely.
those things you can't risk those things. So, but yeah, crazy that Giannis is pretty much the oldest guy on the Milwaukee Bucks now. But yeah, this team they're not better than Boston. They're not better than New York. They're not better than Indiana, I would say,
Well,
even though Miles Turner
and that's the
is
problem
with
is
the
like
Bucks.
think about the East. Like we haven't talked. Obviously, we talked after the game 7, and we talked about how well Indiana's not going to have Tyrese, so that opens up the East a little bit. The Boston Celtics are without Jason Tatum going to be all year, so another spot open. The Orlando Magic saw that, and while we were gone, they went out and they got Desmond Bain. I don't know if we even talked about that last time we were on, but maybe we
No, I don't
did.
think so. Yeah,
So they got Desmond Bain. That is pretty much exactly what they needed, which is a third scorer. Finally, a guard that can go score 20 a night if you need him to. He's a good fit with that team. He's good defensively. Orlando kind of sees that, and they believe in Paulo so much that they're like, this is our opportunity to kind of be the Indiana Pacers of last year. Of nobody kind of sees us coming. We're kind of still young enough to where everybody's like, well, I don't know if we can take them so seriously, but with all these injuries, like the East is so wide open, other than the Knicks, it's almost laughable. Like Indiana traded for their own pick back 2 games before game 7 because they knew the risk of Tyrese Halliburton playing and that he might tear his Achilles, and if so, that they're not going to be good this year. So they got their own pick back for this year. They're going to be without Miles Turner, without Tyrese Halliburton, so they can kind of take a back seat in as far as high playoff seed goes. Celtics are going to be without Kristaps, without Drew Holiday, without Jason Tatum. That team is an entirely different team. Yes, you still have Derek White and Jaylen Brown, but they don't have the cast around them now to kind of get them easier shots. So what does that look like? Cleveland, I'm still not going to take them seriously until they show me otherwise. So until then, you can still have your regular season 1 seed, but I'm not going to trust you in the playoffs. New York is obviously the team to beat. So
the most pressure I think the Knicks have ever felt
for
in
sure,
in like as a franchise in the 21st century. If they do not get to the finals
if they don't get
this
out of the East,
upcoming
yeah,
year, I don't. They really might never get back.
not with this roster, they won't. And there's that clip of Becky Hammon that from
Oh yeah, saying that
7 years
Jalen Brunson's
ago now.
winning.
It's hard unless you're Steph Curry that can, unless you're that type of talented. It's hard for a guy that's under 6'4" to lead a championship team. It is. So unless Cat steps up, unless they have pretty much they've got one number one guy in Jalen, and they've got two solid number two guys. I think Mikal Bridges is a solid two, and I think Cat is a solid two. Um, they've got a chance. This is their best chance. It's probably the
They have to.
last
Celtics
one.
are down. Bucks, they're better. They're a better on paper, better team than the Bucks. Even though the Pacers beat them last year, on paper everybody was picking the Knicks for that series. Celtics, I think I already said Celtics are down, but yeah, and I know everybody likes the upcoming Pistons and the Magic, but they're still
Are they
upcoming and
ready?
young teams. Yeah,
Yeah.
are they ready? Like there is, if there's an Eastern Conference semifinals matchup where the Knicks are playing the Magic and the Magic win, there there's no excuse. I don't care. Like Paulo and Desmond Bain are great players, but there's no excuse.
Well, I would agree with you unless Paulo becomes what I think he can become. I think Paulo can be a
I
top
mean,
five player
yeah,
in this
yeah.
league. Now, whether that happens this year or not is a different story. But yeah, you're right. If Orlando comes in and they steal the East, it's going to get real ugly because that's a young team that can be there for a while. And the Knicks, not we're not saying 30 is old, but in basketball years, you're kind of getting towards the end of your prime. And if you start getting three or four guys that are your top guys that are hitting around 30, it's not a good sight when you're losing to a team who's 23, 24, and just starting the peak of their career. So, and Orlando's been through two playoff series that are tough. They
Yeah, they
lost to
have.
Cleveland in 7 in the first go around, and then last year they won a series and then lost in the second round, if I remember correctly. So, um, they've got some experience now, and we'll see where that takes them.
New York is second in NBA preseason odds at plus 700. Obviously, everybody thinks that the Knicks have a pretty good shot at winning it all. Top five teams: Thunder are number one, which yeah, Cavs are number three.
You couldn't you if you gave me a
What
hundred
did you
dollars
say?
and said put if you gave me $100 and said put it on the Cavs to win, I'd say no, sir. I would give you your money back and say no, thank you. I wouldn't even take the free bet. I
Number
don't.
four is Houston,
You can have that money too.
and then number five is Minnesota.
I think there's
They
only
got
two
Denver at
teams.
seven. I think that's
I think there, I think
terrible.
there's two teams that can win the championship this year. Maybe three. I think obviously Oklahoma City. I think Denver is the second team, and I think New York is the third. If New York can get out of the East, they've got a shot. The question is, can they? Denver, to me, made the best moves this offseason. We didn't make fun
Great
of
move.
Shams yet, but Shams tweeted out that they were going to see the biggest trade in NBA history or something, biggest free agency thing when free agency first came out. And then the only move that night was MPJ for Cam Johnson. So I'm not sure if Shams is quite up for the par as Mr. Wojnarowski was, but I thought it was a fantastic move for the Denver Nuggets. I've always been a big MPJ guy. You know, I loved him out of high school. When you all got him, that being Denver Nuggets, I was so happy. There was stuff coming out of camp when he was still a rookie and injured of like, hey, this guy is different. Like when he's healthy and able to play, the stuff he's doing in practice is utterly disgusting. We just never saw it. It could be part of the system. It could be the fact that he's soft. It could be the fact that he couldn't step up when he needed to. It could be the injuries. There's a lot of excuses that can be thrown around, but getting a guy that can shoot 40% and play defensively is exactly what that team needs. And MPJ just wasn't that. He's a good rebounder. He's a good three-point shooter. Streaky, but good. Um, and that's kind of his profile. Now, can he become more in
Yeah,
Brooklyn with more shot attempts and more ball handling duties and more whatever? Possibly, and he might have a big scoring jump, but I don't think that contributes to winning basketball,
yeah.
which is what Denver needed.
Um, yeah, that was tough because MPJ obviously helped the Nuggets win their first ever title in franchise history. And it felt like a steal when we got him. I want to say it was like 15th
14,
overall.
14, last pick of
And
the lottery.
and his the first time that he played was actually in the bubble. and he was so good. Helped the Nuggets get the Western Conference Finals, and then he gets paid like everybody thought he was going to be this number three. The problem with MPJ, what I noticed is when against mediocre to bad defenses, he looked like a top five player in the league. There was no stopping him. But when he would go up against a defense that was physical, like OKC, and that's why you mentioned the word soft. He's not a soft player, but he just did not have multi. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, yeah.
His offensive ability I don't know why it ever got to this. It wasn't versatile. All he had was the pull up three. Not even that. It was just the catch and shoot. But never in his Nuggets career did I ever see him go ISO, post up, use his 6'11 frame, and just bully someone to the basket. And it was so frustrating. Now in 2023, we saw this a little bit, but those defenses that the Nuggets faced on that title run, they were not like the Minnesota when they lost in the semis. They were not like the OKC.
Yeah.
So that's why the numbers weren't as bad. And Jokic and Murray were able to do pretty much whatever they wanted against those defenses during that title run. So, but yeah, it made sense. And we were even talking about it last year near the deadline. So, but yeah, they made some great moves. Cam Johnson's great. They got deeper, they got better defensively. Bruce Brown is back.
Bruce Brown's back, yeah.
Tim Hardaway. So you got
Yep.
a
Shooter.
nice 3-point shooter, Jonas Valanciunas, to hopefully help out when
Gosh, yeah.
Jokic is off the floor.
And I think Jonas can kind of run not the same offense, obviously, but he can kind of be the focal point of the second unit if he needs to be. And I would like to see, and as much as I love Christian Brown, he's earned every starting role that he deserves. But I also wouldn't mind seeing a lineup of Jamal Murray, Tim Hardaway Jr., Cam Johnson, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic, and having Christian Brown being that guy off the second unit that just kind of runs everything. And maybe that's not his game. Maybe he plays off of Jokic well, and you just have Tim Hardaway Jr. come off the bench. But you've got versatility now. You've got options. That's what you didn't have last year is options. You kind of had to play the hand you were dealt, and now that's a better hand. You hope that Michael Malone's not kicking over in his grave right now because they finally got him some help. That poor guy, he's probably pissed off in his room because.
Well, I'm sure like if they had this roster with Mike Malone this past year, I mean I don't know what would have happened, but they took the Thunder to 7 games.
And the Thunder
with
said
with a one-armed MPJ and I'm not taking anything away from the Thunder. I'm just saying the reason why Michael Malone was fired is because his bosses thought that they were underperforming, and then they ended up with the same roster.
and because
And maybe it was maybe it was just the message was getting stale, and they just needed a new voice. So, but
maybe
yeah,
but
they
I
got
do
deeper.
love Denver's team this year. They've got
Yeah, it just looks like it'll be easier on Jokic, and he won't have to do as much. He'll get some time off during the regular season.
I think you
Last
should
thing I
get the
will
whole
say,
band back together. Bring Monte Morris back. Hell, why not? You need a backup point guard.
hey, I would love Ish Smith back in Denver.
Bring Ish Smith back. Bring back Will Barton. I don't care. Bring back the entire crew.
Sure, what's Melo? He's only doing a podcast right now.
He can still shoot.
Melo can come in, get some. Jokic is the best offensive player in the league. He can get Carmelo Anthony 2 good looks in the corner.
Easy. He could be Olympic
We can hide
Melo.
him on defense. We can hide him on defense. We can do Jokic, Melo, and then put your 3 best defenders out there: Christian Brown, Cam Johnson,
Aaron Gordon,
and Peyton Watson or Aaron Gordon. Yeah,
I don't mind it at all.
All right, so let's build this roster. So coming off the bench, you got your Jokic, Carmelo Anthony. You have to have Chris Anderson on this team. The Birdman has to be the backup center. So we'll just cut Jonas. Thank you for your service of 2 days. But we have the Birdman. I'm just thinking about the Ronaldo Balkman days.
Oh, what a name! What a name!
The Al Harrington days.
Love the headband. I would again. I was big on Monte Morris. I did love him. I hated Will Barton as a player. Don't I mean obviously
I
could
wasn't
be
the biggest Will Barton.
um just the way he played the game was not tailored to my
No.
taste. But yeah, I keep going back to Monte Morris, and I don't know why. Kenneth Fareed, you see if he's still playing?
Oh yeah. You know what? Last thing I will say on this Nuggets team, Ron Holmes. They might have the next Kenneth Fareed.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
nasty.
a lot of people have forgot about him. He was the Nuggets' first round pick in 2024, and
Yes,
he tore his ACL in training camp, getting ready for summer league, I believe. So he's been playing in summer league this year. I mean, he's a first round pick,
hmm
and he was really athletic at Dayton. He's supposed to be that kind of caliber player. He's just good rebounder, good defensive player, and if they got that kind of guy coming off the bench, there's another dude for you. So,
run jump
um,
dunk. Can't go wrong with a run jump dunk center in this today's league. I just
yeah,
think because they just give out bad contracts, man. Like they paid Zeke Naji early,
yeah.
like way
Well, the
before.
GM got fired too. The GM.
Yeah,
That's one of the Zeke Naji was a bad contract.
MPJ ended up being a bad like.
MPJ really was a bad contract.
But it was all these like MJ wasn't due for another 2 years. They got it ahead of it in case he was good. I know the thought process of it, which is, we see potential in these guys, but before their market becomes too saturated, we have to let them go. We can try to pay them early and keep them for a long term, but yeah, you run the risk of having bad contracts in 3 years. So they're cleaning it up now, and they still have a few years left of this window that's a championship contending team.
Yeah. One of the last things. Um, I know you've put a futures bet down on someone.
Yeah, I don't know if we are because I've got I've got a few not to win a championship, but I've got it in parlays, of course.
Well, what about the in-season tournament? Have you put a futures?
No, actually, and you will not catch me putting any money on the in-season tournament. I will say, however, the as far as the odds go, like when's the last time we've seen a repeat champion? Is it 2017, 2018?
Yeah, Warriors.
So we're talking
Warriors.
8 years ago now. So it, I don't know. It could be, but we've also thought that. I thought that about Denver. I thought that about Boston. I thought Boston was going to go back to back. So I think I'm going to take a different route this year. I don't think I'm going to go pick back to back, just based off of history over the last few years. So Denver is the person I've got money on for this year, and it is because their roster construction is also because they have the best player in the league, so that helps. But they were so close last year. Like when Lou Dort came out and said when we were down to Denver, that's the most, or when they were tied with Denver, that was the most scared that they
Yes.
felt all playoffs. And I was like, they went to a game 7 in the NBA Finals, and the most scared they were played was game 5 of the first round. Like that tells you something about a team. So I do have my money on Denver for next year already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I love to hear that. I love to hear that.
Now the summer league, real quick. Have you watched anything
Yeah.
other than Denver Nuggets highlights?
To be honest with you, I haven't even watched Nuggets summer league highlights.
Oh wow.
Like that's how bad it has been.
Well, let me give you a quick recap of what I. So, obviously, the first few games were it was like 4 teams and they were all playing each other. So it was like Warriors, Jazz, Heat, Spurs, but it was Spurs without Dylan Harper, so it was no fun to watch. Pretty much. Carter Bryant, absolute dog. He plays for the Spurs. He was their second first round pick, I believe, at 14 from Arizona. I believe he is a defensive monster. He's a perfect Spurs player. A perfect Spurs. He will be part of this young core for a long time. He reminds me of you know the Spurs guys, the guys that nobody really talks about, but you're like those were instrumental pieces. The Boris Diaw's, the Steven Jacksons, the Patty Mill, like those type of guys. Carter Bryant feels like that guy. He's not going to get the recognition that Wemby or Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle gets, but he's going to be a main focal point on this team. He's so good defensively that this team with Wemby at the back line, it's going to be a struggle to score. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Carter Bryant, three guys right there that can lock anybody up on the perimeter. And if for some reason they get blown by, you've got 7'5" Wemby hanging out at the dunker spot, just waiting for you. So I think Spurs
Yeah,
have.
you know what just is frustrating is Pop not being able to coach this
I
team.
know it really does because this kind of felt like his last go
This would
around.
be yeah. This would be yeah.
Almost like so he did it with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and he had the 20-year dynasty that was the San Antonio Spurs, and then they had a reset, and then they got the number one pick, and I think that kind of willed him to stay a little bit longer, and it would have been awesome to see this team become what they are because they are a great team right now, and have Pop get them to the mountaintop, and then him kind of ride off in the sunset and let whoever it is take over an already championship one team, and core that the Spurs have. So it would have been storybook ending. I feel like if Pop was coaching, it's just
Yeah.
it sucks. It's an awful situation, and we hope obviously that he's gonna um, be healthy for next season as far as just without coaching, just him in general being healthy. So our prayers go up to Pop, but yeah, this Spurs team it looks nasty in summer league just based off of individual pieces that you could see fit in the NBA. And that's kind of what this summer league is. It's not who's the best team. It's can that guy individually play alongside the guys that he's going to be playing with in the NBA. And they've got two guys I think that can do that.
Obviously, we're high on the Spurs, like everyone. We've been talking, which rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Wimby got cleared of blood clots yesterday, or whatever the actual term definition is. It starts with a TH, I know, but I don't know the actual terminology. But so he got cleared to play, so they should be back and healthy and ready to go. It's a fun team. I mean, they are the next team. They're just going to restart the dynasty. It'll be a 40-year dynasty with 8 championships or 9 championships within that time frame. So it's going to be fun to watch. The Jazz have had a great summer league team. Lauri Markkanen looks really not Lauri Markkanen. Kyle Filipowski, who basically looks like Lauri Markkanen, looks good in the summer league.
Yeah, I've been seeing him and Collier.
They have him, Collier, Cody Williams, first round pick last year. Ace Bailey, obviously, first round pick this year. They've got a team
Yeah,
that
I was a
should
big Cody
be
Williams fan. I loved him at CU.
Jalen Williams'
So
brother, J-Dub's brother.
yeah, yeah,
So
they have some young guys. It's just man, they don't have any of those big boys that kind of take them over the top.
no, and then the Thunder look good too, which is it kind of sucks. They're just going to keep getting better. It doesn't matter. They're going to lose people eventually when the second apron hits, but they paid everybody. So Chet, J-Dub, Shea, they all got paid this summer. When those contracts get to the point where they're actually paying them that money, you're going to see guys like Isaiah Jones, Aaron Wiggins. Those guys will no longer be on the team, but you've got guys like Nikola Topic or Topic. I think it's Topic. I think it's
Topic.
Topic, whatever. It's like Jokic, same thing. He is a point guard, the definition of a point guard. That's what he is, and that was a steal in last year's draft. He fell. He's supposed to be a top 10 pick. He fell in their arms because he tore his ACL, and they didn't really need him this year. So you get him coming off the bench now. You get a guy that hasn't even played a lick of summer league that you drafted first round this year, who I think is disgusting defensively. A center out of Georgetown that I can't pronounce his last name. Sobers, I hope. They've just got a lot of guys you can't pronounce. But
Yeah, it's
the Thunder look good.
it's frustrating, but they have I mean they have the best system in the NBA.
They've just got so many picks to do. Like they'll never not have a first round pick ever. Even if they give up a first round pick to get somebody else, they'll still have another first round pick in the back pocket just for fun. Um, so they're gonna be good forever. But there's been a lot of fun summer league games that, like the Spurs and Jazz played last night. I think Filipowski had, I want to say 32 or 35, and the Spurs hit a game winner. So like that was fun to watch. It's been good basketball. Everybody's starting to get shut down, which I do have an issue with. I don't know if you do. Are you a fan of teams shutting down their players after a game or two of summer league?
Totally fine with me.
Okay, I know because you don't watch it, so that probably doesn't bother you.
Well, I just like I view it as kind of the preseason. Like, say a player plays bad for the first two games in summer league. Like, let's say Cooper Flag had another 5 for 20 game. That does not change my view on
Of course not.
maybe that. Yeah, and maybe that was the idea. Is they just wanted to see him play a couple of games. They don't want to push him any farther. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it. I understand it. It sucks for basketball fans because you're wanting to watch Cooper Flag and all those guys, but at the end of the day, it's just summer league.
Well, I
It's the
don't
off
think it's
season.
that as much as like because I do a guy like summer league, but I don't. I'll watch it regardless of who's playing. Unfortunately, I just think you sitting a player and you say it's because of injury, but they're still going to run in the gym, whether it's 5v5 against somebody else or in these Drew leagues or like all these other leagues that Chet got hurt playing in a Drew league game. He broke his leg, was out for the year. So it's like it's going to happen if it's going to happen. Like it's not because you played him in the summer league or because you played him wherever. So like that part bothers me because it's like he's not get as many reps as you can before the season starts. Why not with this team, with a Mavericks team that's ready to go? Once Kyrie gets healthy, you need to be NBA ready by the time midseason comes and Kyrie's ready. If
Well,
you want
then
to make a championship push.
here's a good question for you. What's the point of the summer league if you're just going to do that with your players? You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, the summer league is more for the guys that are trying to make NBA rosters, right? Most of the guys are 1, 2, 3 years players that are on the cusp of getting cut. They have something to prove, and they're trying to impress. Those are the guys. Like like Cooper Flag. There's no need for him to really be out there. First round
Except
picks.
for the fact that he's never going to get this opportunity to be the guy. Like when Anthony Davis is next to you, when Kyrie's next to you, you're not going to get the ball like you would like in the summer league where everything flows through you. So why not get as many reps as you can where
That
you
that's
are
not
the
gonna
guy?
that's not gonna affect him. I
I'm
don't
not talking
I
about
don't
Cooper
think
Flag.
him.
Like this is a Mavericks thing that like there's zero reason for you to be sitting is my point. There it does no benefit to anybody else. The guys that are fighting for a summer league spot, they're not gonna you're not gonna be playing one on one in the NBA. So why are you doing it in the summer league? Why do you get the chance to do it? Because Cooper Flag's out, so now somebody's got to create, and now it's just going to be you. It's like you're not going to get that opportunity in the league. You being in the league is being a role player. So how do you play well off of stars? And if your star's not playing, then what are you doing out there? It doesn't give them a fair shot either. I don't think.
Are we saying what we? I think we're saying the summer
I don't
league is irrelevant.
for no because it still provides value for those guys, those role players. But I don't see the point if you're not going to play them in the 6 games after. Don't play him the first two. Just sit him the whole time then. If that's the case. If you don't think he needs it, then why is he playing in the first place? Or if you think he's going to get injured, then why is he playing in the first place? I don't get the
Yeah,
discourse of other than
yeah.
saying we can sell $2,000 tickets because Bronny and Cooper Flag are playing against each other. It's like that.
Well, that's a big part of it. You are going to make some good money when you get those first round picks. That you can go watch them early because
But also, when did this
that
start? When did this start where summer league guys, when first round picks are no longer playing in the summer league? Kevin Garnett talked about it. He's like, he played every summer league game. LeBron played every summer league game. When
well,
did this start to where people are start sitting?
it's no different how we view the NBA now. It's guys just don't play, and
Yeah, but
the
everybody has an issue with that. Nobody has an issue with the summer. Like it's all a trickle down effect. Eventually, like high school kids are just like like eventually you get to the summer league, and then you get to the G League, and then you get to college, and then where college you're starting to sitting out the last 5 games of the regular season or whatever because that doesn't
Well,
matter. It's like
do you want my old man take about it?
I think I just gave mine, so why not?
Well, I think players nowadays are a little bit more. I don't want to say privileged,
Coddle,
but they. I was reading. So I was reading. This is a baseball thing. Jim Rice, Hall of Famer, Red Sox player in the 1970s. Um,
obviously.
he he obviously he was talking. There was an article, and he said that rookies are treated so differently nowadays. Rookies come into the clubhouse, and I think this is for every sport. Rookies come into the clubhouse and they have an attitude, or they're treated among their peers as if they've been there for a while. And he said that when he came on as a rookie, he was like in top five in MVP voting as a rookie. And he said that like you had to earn your respect on the team. Like veterans wouldn't just come up to you and talk to you. You kind of had to earn that. And you couldn't just, go around the clubhouse acting somebody would have put a stop to that. But rookies now do it and they get that. It might be because of that treatment is rookies and these high profile up and comers are treated differently now. But I think that has to do with how they're covered. Maybe in the 1970s and 80s, nobody really covered guys as much when they were coming up through college. Now you have like Pipeline and all these accounts on Twitter that are following these guys from when they're high school. And these
I mean,
guys are signing autographs when they're in high school
yeah.
and stuff like that. So
I haven't seen a baseball game in a few. Like I haven't watched a full sit down 9 inning game on my television or in person this year, and yet I could tell you the first 10 picks of the MLB draft. Like
yes,
that.
yeah,
That's the point you're making. Is like people are covering the sport so like who these kids are in middle school now. So like
yeah,
you get this treatment of, oh well, you're supposed to be this, you're gonna be this, and then when you get there, you're like, well, I've been this since I was middle school, so why am I not getting what I'm supposed to be getting?
yes. And maybe that's why it's like, yeah, they haven't been in the league for 10 years, but they've been maybe living the professional lifestyle being in the spotlight for 10 years. So maybe, they see the summer league as it's the summer league. I'll just play my 2 games and get out of here. They don't really make a commitment to be like, no, I'm going to earn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to earn this respect because they already have it.
Yeah.
Like, Cooper Flag has that respect.
Well, it's also a
So,
generation thing. Like I don't know. Like somebody had to do it first for then other teams or other players to be like, yeah, why am I playing in this game if he's not going to do it? Then I'm not. So there had to be a trickle down effect somewhere, and somebody started it. I don't know who, but it's kind of it's convoluted. It's getting to the point where it's going to trickle down eventually to the point where it's going to be insane. Where
well, what we need is
college
we
kids, high
need
school kids,
we need a player. We need someone like Cooper Flag to be like, no, I'm gonna play in these six
yeah,
games, and
and
people will
challenge
follow
everybody else
suit.
to. Yeah, you
Yeah,
have to
challenge
challenge. You have to be
everybody
like,
else.
if I'm playing in this, you have to like. I need to be playing against the best players, or else there's no point in me playing. That's what I don't
Yes,
get. Summer League is a joke because by the time you get to the end of it, you're watching, you know, guys who can't make an NBA roster be the number one guys on a team. It's like that.
correct.
What good is that doing anybody?
Yeah, that we need like even somebody in the NBA like during the regular season, back to back nights. I'm gonna play. We're gonna win. We're
Yeah,
gonna win this game. Set the tone, and that's why I hate the NBA regular season because guys they are willing to sit out those games because they don't take the regular season as serious as they should because we let too many playoff teams in there because they know at the end of the season they're still going to find a way to get into the playoffs. So,
they
but
could squeak
that's
in.
anyways, that's a whole
Well,
nother
finally,
conversation.
it all goes back to when the commissioner changed. When David Stern passed away, or he left and then passed away, but
Yeah, Adam Silver is definitely more of a player's.
he's a player's commissioner. So
Yeah,
whatever they want, he's going to give it to them. David Stern was a business oriented guy first. Now, did that rub players the wrong way? Did that rub fans the wrong way? Yeah, sure. Did he make every decision correctly? Absolutely not. But you didn't see this much drama slash sitting out slash I pay for a ticket and I don't get to watch my favorite player play because he's sitting out on a road trip just because his knee hurts when it really
yep,
doesn't. So just stuff like that, But again, it's all complaints that are the trickle down effect of what started in summer league that led to whatever, or what started in the
yeah,
NBA that leads to summer league that leads to college that leads to high school, until it gets to the point where somebody's like, "What are we doing?" But
yeah.
maybe we'll all be old by that point,
Hey,
so
it's
who cares?
frustrating. Did want to ask you. I also have another little rant.
Shoot.
NBA 2K 26, Shea on the
Oh my
cover, which is
gosh.
great, but so I haven't seen anything from the game, but the cover, and maybe I noticed more stuff like this because I'm older and I just when I was a kid playing it I didn't notice, but the cover,
When did it
why
become
is it
so simplistic?
where's the detail?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm looking at a picture of the cover right now. But the first thing I noticed when I saw this was a little while back when it first dropped. So you have Shea dribbling a basketball in the middle, and you're supposed to have four guys guarding him. Like it looks like defending him. If you look really closely, what it looks like to me is the person who made the cover was just so lazy that they were just like, "Hey, let's just use some pictures that we have on file and blur them out and nobody will notice," and you're totally wrong. Um, Go and say what you were about to say. I think it's the same thing that I'm gonna say.
Oh no, I'll let you finish them.
Well, you look at the cover. The guy behind Shea to the left is Jason Tatum. It was the cover from last year, and Jason Tatum's not guarding Shea. If that's the whole point, if you're trying to have defenders, so I don't. What's the point of having? Anyways, the guy to the right is obviously Al Horford, which I'm totally fine with that. He's defending him. But if you look at the guy who's actually in front of Shea on the left, all it is Al Horford reverse.
Yeah, it's just Al
So
Horford
it's
again.
like, so honestly, that's what it looks like. Is
Well, and you actually not to nitpick here, but you're actually wrong on the back left. That's actually Luke Cornett in the back there, in the Celtics jersey.
no,
They
that's got
found
to be Tatum.
they found the actual picture that's from, and it's uncanny. You can't unsee it when you see it, and it's Luke Cornett celebrating after an and one. That's the picture that they use, and they
Wow,
just
it
blurred
looks
it out.
exactly like that Tatum cover
Yeah.
picture. But
So
still, he's
yeah,
not defending anybody.
no, he's just
So
behind.
I know it's a small thing, but I think this is the reason why people continue to complain about the sports video games in 2K is because it's the little things that made it great when we were growing up, and they don't do those little things anymore.
Well, they've missed out on quite a bit. They've had a rough stretch recently. Between this, why you even have two Celtics players, one twice, on the cover of OKC? Why is it all Celtics players? Why is it
Yeah,
so simple? Why is it just him dribbling a basketball? It could have been any other picture. You used to have three guys on a cover. You used to have, um, Jordan, LeBron. Like the guys were never the issue. Either the design or
yeah,
whatever. But these last 2 years, Madden did it last year with CMC just running, and they took a picture and then they just made something else around it. It looks like AI did this. If I said, "Hey, AI,
100%.
make a cover of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with 2K on it," and then this popped out, and they were like, AI will sometimes duplicate things, and it because it's AI. It's like that's
Yeah,
what happened. It's like Al Horford somehow ended up here and there by accident, and they were like, just
100%.
screw it. And they even have Mello as a secondary cover, which I thought you would buy. And
Yes, I was gonna get to that. That's the only thing I like is they have, which I don't know why. It might be because
Still
I'm pretty
Legends
sure he
Edition.
actually is gonna. He's in this Hall of Fame class, so
Yeah.
that might have to do with. I'm pretty sure. Um, but I thought I did at first when I saw that it was Melo. I was like, that's kind of random.
But even his is
The
just a 3-point celebration.
Yeah, yeah. Wish it was on Denver, but
But you can find like random people on Twitter will make a better cover than 2K, the
yes, that's the
multi-million
frustrating
dollar
thing.
company.
I'm actually looking at one right now. It's a Tyrese Halliburton one, and it
Ooh,
looks
I
tremendous.
know exactly. It's him choking.
Yes,
It looks
it looks
great.
awesome.
Yeah, it's just like that's the issue is a multi-million dollar company who bleeds dry people that try to play that game because of microtransactions, and you can't use those to pay somebody to make a good cover. That's the
Yeah,
issue. You don't put it
yeah,
back in the game. You just keep it. The
yeah.
only other thing
But
they
no,
missed
I
out on.
love
Did you see the
what?
news about college basketball? We have to talk about it.
Yes, yeah. But college basketball 2028 so far though.
So far, but it's the same timeline that EA gave for college football. They told us in 2021 in February that college football was coming back, and it came back the summer 24. So it's the same timeline. I'm super ecstatic. 2K came out with a blueprint of what they were going to do, and it got possibly approved. Their version of it was a DLC version of 2K with 16 college teams added in there, and you could play it on NBA 2K. So it wasn't its own game. It was like an extra pack that you had to purchase to be able to get 16 college teams, whatever. And I thought, okay, wasn't supposed to come out till 2030. And I'm like, what sense does? And if you're 2K in your mind and you go, let's see, EA is going to make an entire college basketball game from scratch and it's going to release in 2028. We're going to add 16 teams in a DLC pack to go alongside with 2K, and it's going to take us 2 more years than what it's taking them to make this game. It's going to take us 5 years to get that out. What sense does that make? Who's going to play that after playing 2 years of actual college basketball, which they've been waiting for at that point for 18 years, a full child to adult? It's actually insane. Like that's how
That is
2K's mind
insane.
thinks. So they've had a losing streak recently of I don't know the last 4 years, but especially these last
Hey
two.
man, I to be honest with, and again, I find myself, and it's just us getting older. I find myself being like, why is it not like this anymore? And obviously, everything is just better, feels better when you're
You're younger.
growing up.
Yeah.
It's this nostalgia, but I really do think like, especially with the sports video games, I regularly play MLB The Show, and it is the same game. There's nothing special about the gameplay. All they did was change the cover, the intro, and the best thing they added was the road to the show. You get to play in college, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's the gameplay looks the same. The animations, it's getting to a point where it's like I don't even want to buy the games anymore. I'll just upload the live roster, and then
Well,
there
and I
you
think
go.
that's the new
So
wave. I think because sports video games have pretty much always been like that, where it's year to year new rosters, unless there's a new generation of consoles that come out. So like when the PS4 came out, 2K went from these graphics to insane graphics, and then PS4 to PS5 wasn't that much of a difference. So you get these big jumps every 12, 15 years, whatever it is, but for those 12 to 15, it's pretty minute in the
well, you
differences.
know what my biggest complaint is? It's and it has to go back with the details. It felt like when we start playing video games in like 2008 all the way up to like 2018, even the game menus, they looked different. They felt different. Like the pictures that they use, the way that you would get to a gameplay or do a franchise. The intros that like now
Or the
and now
gameplay
you
was
play
different.
yeah, and now you just play 2K and I guarantee you on this 2K26, you'll put the disc in or play it, and it'll show up. There'll be music playing. It'll be a picture of Shay. You'll press X, and then it'll go to the menu instead of having a sick intro or anything like that. And the menu will look exactly like it did last year. And it's like,
I will say,
yeah, it's
over the last few years, I've realized EA is a superior video game company than anybody else. They spent 3 years developing college football, which everybody has wanted since 2014, 2013, whenever it came out. That game was the most anticipated game, and it lived up mostly.
it was a great game. Yes.
And all they did in 26 was listen to what everybody said about 25, and they fixed that, quote unquote, um, on the 26 game and made it a little bit better. So they've done some improvements themselves while also listening to what we had to say about it and then go, we'll fix that as well. So that's what they've done in 26. The way that they're doing college basketball is it releases in 28, but they're doing a 2-year release. So there won't be another one until 2030 and then 2032. That way it's not the same. They have time to actually develop a new portion, a new whatever of the game, because that's what you need. It's so hard to make every game every year feel different, but if you have 2 years to work on a game, you've got some time to really change it. And you don't need a
Yeah.
game every year. People will
Well,
update the rosters.
I think you can every year. You can make adjustments, but I think now maybe.
You can, but you don't need to. Nobody needs to
Well,
spend
the thing is,
$70
I think
each year to make minor
maybe 2K's
adjustments.
gotten lazy. Maybe 2K's gotten lazy and they know that they don't have competition. They're still going to make great money. And maybe they're not going to spend a ton of money on getting somebody to, um, or spend a ton of money on making sure that it's this way because they know people are still going to buy the game. So that's unfortunate. And that's not caring about the people, your customers.
But
But
I don't think you need a game every year. You like the developers can
no, you don't need one.
do updates throughout the year to update the roster. You don't even have to do it yourself. They can do it. So it's like now you're just making me spend $70 each year to get a new roster and whatever minor update that you give out.
Yeah.
It's a money scam, but we fall for it every year, and we're gonna do it again next
and I
year.
will this year. So
And I'll buy
yeah, I
college
will.
basketball, and
I'll
it'll be the
buy.
the greatest time of our lives was college sophomore year, NCAA 10 on a PS3. This is only 3-4 years ago now, 5. And me, you, and Benjamin Rollins would sit up and play a game that was, what was it? It was 10, 11 years old at that time. And we'd be up to about
Blake Griffin
5
was in
a.m.
college. He doesn't play basketball anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We would stay up till like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Finals didn't matter. Parties didn't matter.
yeah,
There's a party going on behind us. We're sitting there playing
those are awesome.
college
We're
basketball.
playing. We're leading WKU to a championship.
It's like there's
I mean,
times,
I will. I'm
we'll
I'm
get
gonna
those
get
back.
the I'll get the mellow hard copy because I feel like I just have to. But
Yeah, I knew you would.
that's the only thing I feel like I'm gonna end up looking forward to. But
Yeah.
all right, we went a little over, but we had to. We've been gone for a while.
Make up for
I would
lost
like
time.
to say that we would be back next week, but
Wouldn't it be nice?
I don't know. And I can't give you consistent times because it's just kind of the dead period. So, unfortunately,
We'll
but
come back when we got some stuff to talk about.
yeah, we'll be back when, hopefully Shams will
Now, if LeBron gets
drop
traded
a bomb or
tomorrow,
something. If LeBron gets traded tomorrow, you'll see us tomorrow. So,
Thursday we'll have an episode.
Thursday we'll be ready to go. But, yeah, more hoops. Love talking hoops. 2K, got to get better. Katie, maybe not moving the needle. LeBron, maybe he's a Washington Wizard the next time we talk.
Spurs,
So,
top 3 seed? Who knows?
Not Thursday. But
Who knows?
until then, thank you for listening. And go Ducks. See y'all.